Some breaking news happening in the Arizona camp with DeAndre Hopkins being tied down to a 2-year extension worth $54.5 million. Is Arizona making the right move by paying him, or are they committing the wrong funds in the wrong positions? Let's eat.
What time is it? Game time! Woo!
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Edwin, aka Sexy Eddie, aka King Jalof, and I'm back again with some breaking news. The Arizona Cardinals are making some business moves. Listen, guys. Earlier on, they signed their star safety Budda Baker to a max contract, and now they're tying down one of the best receivers in the game to a 2-year extension worth $54.5 million, $27.25 per year. Let that sink in. $54.5 million. He is now the highest paid non-QB player throughout those 2 years. That's crazy when you think about it, right? That extension, he deserves every last bit of it. Listen, guys, DeAndre Hopkins, to me, has been underpaid his whole career. I tell you, he's listed before this move happened. He was listed as the 9th highest paid receiver in the league. Terrible. That's behind Brandon Cooks, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Amari Cooper, who disappears in away games, AJ Green, who hasn't played football in feels like in years. What's going on? Listen, Julio Jones, Michael Thomas. I'm not gonna argue that. You know, like those guys, to me, they have the potential to be the best receiver in the game. I think it's like a 3-way tie between all three: DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, Michael Thomas. I'm not upset with them being highly paid than he is. But those other receivers I just named, there's no way in hell I'm taking those guys over DeAndre Hopkins. Are you serious? Listen, this guy in the past 3 seasons, he is one of 2 receivers. I'm guessing that might be Julio Jones. But he is one of 2 receivers to have all-pro seasons in the past 3 seasons. Are you kidding me? That to me says a lot. This guy's a beast. And in actuality, this contract was inevitable. Because when you go back to his days in Houston, he wanted a contract extension, but Houston didn't have the funds to pay for a receiver like his caliber. And so what they did was, because they couldn't pay for him, they shipped him off to Arizona, who later on gave him the deal that he wanted, right? Because they had the money to do so. They're a young rising team. Houston making some bad decisions. Head coach Bill O'Brien, I don't get it at all. People forget how great of a receiver DeAndre Hopkins is prior to Deshaun Watson walking into the league. Because before Deshaun Watson, we had guys like Matt Schwab throwing to DeAndre Hopkins. Are you kidding me? Matt Schwab. Talking about pick 6 Matt Schwab? No. That's terrible. Listen, guys, as great as these receivers are, Julio has Matt Ryan, Michael Thomas got Drew Brees, AJ Green had a decent Andy Dalton, Amari Cooper had Dak Prescott, and before that, Derek Carr, who to me is not a scrub. Listen, he is not a scrub. Look into the numbers. His numbers are actually similar to Dak Prescott's in some ways. So these guys had competent QB play, and D-Hop, prior to my boy Deshaun Watson coming to Houston, has been struggling for years. And he has now been productive in the recent years because of Deshaun Watson and the competent QB play that he has received. He's now being paid like a top 2 receiver. Somewhat, because in actuality, his 2-year extension is added on to his 3 years that he previously had on his deal, right? So instead of that $54.5 million that you guys are all looking at, that is now added on to his current deal, which equates to a totality of $94 million. So in actuality, he's making $18.8 million annually. That's still below Julio Jones, Michael Thomas, who I have no problems with, But that's still below Amari Cooper, who I have a problem with. Because like I said before, this guy disappears in away games. And to me, how are you going to pay a receiver who disappears in away games when you have guys like DeAndre Hopkins who's doing it week in and week out? That to me says a lot. But regardless of all that, DeAndre Hopkins has had productive seasons in the past 3 seasons with 1,100 yards to show for it. This guy has been a baller, a beast, a security blanket for Deshaun Watson, and now he will be a security blanket for Kyler Murray. The Cardinals are building something special down there. I tell you, they have a foundation set with their electrifying QB Kyler Murray, and now they are looking to compete and contend for the next couple of years. But what that means is that they need to find a way to be in contention sooner rather than later. The Cardinals are still in the bottom half of the league when it comes to cap space, which means that if they don't find a way to compete next season or at least 2 years from now, then everything could fall down the line, and that could be a bad thing for the team. But they needed to get this deal done for DeAndre Hopkins because, like I said before, if you want to be somewhat a special team or make some noise next season, you need guys like DeAndre Hopkins to be on your team. Budda Baker to be on your team. Build around Kyler Murray so that he can succeed in the future. That's the plan, and that's what they're sticking to right now. But that's all we have today for this video, guys. DeAndre Hopkins obviously ate with the extension. He deserves it, and he finally gets to get the respect, to me, financially, that he has been deservedly so for the past, 8 seasons? Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. How many yards will DeAndre Hopkins have next season? Listen, I know that he's a great receiver and he was a great leader for the Houston Texans, but he's going from Deshaun Watson to Kyler Murray. 2 different quarterbacks, 2 different systems for that matter, 2 different coaches. So I expect him to have a big adjustment somewhat this season with Kyler Murray, but I do expect him to still eclipse that 1,000-yard mark for receivers. I'm going to say he gets at least 1,000 yards this season, but it might be a different path for him this season than it was for him in Houston. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. How many yards will DeAndre Hopkins have this season? I'm going to say 1,000. For you guys, it could be less than, you never know. Like I said before, guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the video and the channel. And always remember, as I grow, we grow together. Stay tuned for the next video.